Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Katie. I'm so glad you're here. And I heard that you've decided to build your business website using WordPress. Yay, woo! Nice pick. So, what comes next? You need hosting. Yes, web hosting. So, you're probably wondering, how do I pick my web hosting provider? And what the heck is hosting anyways? So, web hosting is when a provider gives you space on their server to save your website files and then serves them up so other people can see them. Yeah, sounds simple, right? So today we're going to go over the things that you need to think about when you are trying to pick your hosting provider. But before we get started, I would like to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if this video is helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. It makes me super happy and I do a little dance every time it happens. By the way, if you would like to follow along in the journey that I'm going on, creating my first course, please subscribe to my newsletter. The link will be below. That also would make me do a super happy dance. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so my guess, if you've already decided that you want to use WordPress to build your business website, you've done maybe a bit of research and you've come up with names like SiteGround, Bluehost, DreamHost, Flywheel, and many others. HostGator perhaps for hosting your WordPress site. Now, the first thing that I think is very important when you're searching for hosting is the cost. This is not something that you want to pay the cheapest for, because in price, if you pay something by a cheap hosting service, you will compromise in other areas of your website. So it could be the speed of delivery in which your website is served up, and if it is slow to load, if your website is slow to load, you're going to have a high bounce rate and people are not going to stay on your website. You only have a couple seconds really to capture someone's attention, and if your website has not loaded within that time, you probably already lost them. A lot of people are impatient. Also, you could have a really bad customer support if you pay for a cheap service. I remember I did some client work for someone that had a pretty cheap hosting service, and usually, if you are a developer working with a client, the customer support team has to verify that you are who you say you are, that the client is letting you work on their website. Well, this didn't happen. They just did the changes that I had requested, and I was like, oh my, that's a little scary and interesting. So, with that being said, pay a bit more for this service. It's really important. It'll serve you in the long run if you have good delivery speed for your website and also great customer support. That will make a huge difference and save you a lot of headaches. Also, the next thing that probably won't be a surprise is read reviews. If you're like me, I love reading reviews. They help me make decisions on just about anything. I in particular love Yelp because I love reading about food reviews. But if you read reviews and see what people love about different services, like for example, I use SiteGround for all of my clients' websites, and I love SiteGround. I have thought they've been amazing since I started using them several years ago, and they just have awesome customer support. I mean, they've helped me with a bunch of other things, and it is excellent. So, read reviews, see what people love about different services so you can get a feel. You might value, other aspects of web hosting over another, and the reviews will tell you, and you'll be able to make a better decision. Next, I would say check and see what features are included with the web hosting that you're looking at. So this could be like a free SSL. This is pretty standard. So you want a free SSL. That's very important. That helps make sure that your website is secure and Like for example, on my Mac, if I go to a website that is not secure and does not have an SSL enabled, I cannot even view it. So you really, really want that for your website. Another thing that might be included is like a free Cloudflare account, and that's a CDN, so Content Delivery Network, and that's important and can actually speed up the delivery of your website as well. So take a look and see what free features each web host that you're looking at has involved. Some might offer a free domain too. So, you know, that could help you decide what you need. Take a look what free things that you're interested in and compare the two. Compare the free, you never know. Another thing that I think is like highly important. This is probably like my most important thing to myself, is do they have a good customer support team? Will you feel comfortable and confident working with their customer support team that they will actually be able to do what they say they're going to do? That's really important. There have been things that I've run into with my own personal websites, and SiteGround has always been there for me, and they have shown me so many different things they can do, and they always deliver. And afterwards, you get a little transcript of the conversation, so you can always go back and refer to it. So if you are into customer support, if you're a little bit afraid that you will make mistakes and maybe really mess up your website, go with an option that has a great customer support team so you'll feel more secure. And finally, since you're just starting out, there are different, servers that you can host your website on. But I think in the beginning, a shared server is fine. You won't have that much traffic. It's going to be okay. And as you scale up, you can switch to a single server where it's just you, where it's just a dedicated server for your website that will handle all of the traffic that you have. But in the beginning, really diving into an individual server, I don't think it's particularly worth it. But, if you want to be like, I'm gearing up for the long haul and to get tons of traffic to my website, then go for it. But in the beginning, I don't particularly think that it's useful. So with that being said, like my favorite web host for WordPress is SiteGround. I love them. I think they are great. They're a little bit more expensive, but I find that being expensive and having like an easy dashboard to use has been worth it in the long run. And I have no complaints about them at all. I actually really, really enjoy working with them. So thank you for listening to these tips. I hope they help clear up some confusion for you, so now you'll feel more comfortable and confident in making a decision for your web host, and you'll be able to know what works best for you, in your business. Again, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel, and if this was useful, hit the thumbs up button. It makes me do a small happy dance. Alright guys, see you next time. Goodbye!